Hello, my name is Molly Culp, and I am doing my Literacy 698 final presentation. The topic I chose to focus on is writing instruction for elementary level students. So, the population that was studied was elementary level students. The grades range from 2nd to 6th grade. Not all studies encompassed all grades, but this was the range. Teachers were also part of the studies. They were part of the qualitative and quantitative studies. They were from the United States as general education teachers. Now, for the literature review, studies were pulled from North America and parts of Europe. Now, it was important for researchers to do general education teachers rather than experts, third party consultants, or coaches because they wanted to see how the daily instructor impacted the writing instruction. So, the general goal is to see what methods of instruction were successful when teaching elementary writing, and also to see how the teacher impacts the writing instruction. We know that there are many ways and many options to choose from when it comes to how we teach things, and researchers make the valid point that writing is a crucial part of our lives, whether it be from our daily interactions through sending text messages to more of our work life and our responsibilities of being professionals and using our words to communicate and disseminate information. So, through this course, I read and synthesized qualitative, quantitative studies and a literature review. So, the narrative study allowed for insight on how individual teachers' conceptions about writing impacted their text based writing instruction and methods. The quantitative study was a survey that was sent out to teachers in the United States, elementary teachers, about the durations and frequency of writing instruction and practices, types of writing assessments, use of evidence based writing practices, and how weaker writers are assisted. And finally, the literature review looked at peer reviewed papers about methods and instructional strategies used to teach general education elementary students. Jumping into some of the challenges and barriers that researchers found, they found that students are going to be at in the real world on different levels. So when they pulled students for their study, those students happened to be meeting grade level expectations and doing an average job academically. Again, that is not going to be the case or any case in any public education classroom. So, not all teachers that were asked to be part of the study responded, nor did not every teacher that was participating meet criteria to be involved in the study. Generally speaking, when we came to the literature review, that there is rather a small pool of fiction for elementary general education writing instruction studies. There are not a lot done, so there was really not a great quantity to choose from. So when we come to the recommendations, we look from to Elaine and Matsumura, who wrote the text-based writing in elementary classrooms, teachers' conceptions and practice in 2019. And they found that teachers really have to look intrinsically at their own conceptions and dispositions about writing instruction because it does impact the way that they teach writing. Their attitude shows, and again, it's like a ripple effect into your classroom because you are the leader and you dictate the tone and kind of respect that and work ethic that students will have to a certain topic or education subject. So they also found that that teachers need to look at writing as more of showing skills and knowledge rather than just analyzing and writing about it. They also suggest that the district needs to get involved rather than just the classroom education teacher because the district is the being that dictates the policies, what kind of tests and assessments are mandatory, and really how curriculums are chosen. So, another recommendation from these same authors is to increase professional development for teachers in writing instruction. This would allow teachers to receive high quality training in writing instruction and being able to merge it into the already pre existing district selected instruction writing curriculum. Gilbert and Graham, they conducted a study and wrote a paper called Teaching Writing to Elementary Students in Grades 4 to 6, a national survey. They found that the average writing instruction time was 20 minutes or less. They did not specify an exact duration in minutes or hours. However, they did specify that writing instruction does need to be increased, and that time needs to be consistently maintained to have a long-lasting impact on students. Finlayson and McCrudden, who wrote in 2019 Teacher Implemented Writing Instruction for Elementary Students, a literature review, found that self-regulated strategy development, SRSD, was highly effective. This is where students, you could dive into their background knowledge, you have a discussion. The teacher models what's to be expected, what students are going to eventually do. They are able to observe and process the information. They are able to practice it with peer or instructor support and eventually get to the point where they are able to do this whole thing independently by themselves without any assistance. These two authors also recommended two more things that they found effective through their literature review. The first one is using technology to aid in the writing process. They found that technology helps differentiate, and they also thought that doing just a time period where you only write helps boost vocabulary and spelling. Now, there are some more limitations in general, so there are not a wide range of studies done on this specific topic. We know that there are already lots of students who are meeting below grade level standard or have other pre-existing barriers in their way to reaching the expected academic performance, as well as not including students in the study who had um, autism, ELD specifically. They were just in the general education classroom. The study was not just focused on those kinds of students. And as we know, technology is going to continue to develop, so we cannot know the role it will play in future, and finances and resources may be limited depending on the district.